Hey, toy fans, Doc Johnson coming at you for my Action Room Collection Room Part 4. I'm rolling along. Each one of these I'm getting a little bit better about what to say. Again, Part 1 was my very first attempt at any kind of video. Never been much of a tech-savvy person, so here I am on Part 4. Again, there'll probably be a Part 5 and a Part 6 because I have 2 action figure rooms that I'd love to show you guys. And again, great hobby. Like I've said on all the other videos, action figure people, love you guys. Keep the hobby going. So make sure, and anytime you see videos in your scroll and your Rolodex about action figure rooms and all that, click on them and give them a like. Keep this hobby going. This is what gets people interested in it. Let's support each other. Love it. So I left off Part 3, which with my X-Men figure collection all the way down. And again, I'm about 90% done with that collection. You'll see the room down there at the bottom. So then I'm moving over to my most recent additions. I'm just now starting to build my G.I. Joe Real American Hero collection. 1982 to 1994 was the original run of these figures. Again, I'm just now built the shelving for it, so I'm still working on it. And you'll see up there is Series 1, 2, and Series 1 and 2 for sure. I think I'm actually missing one figure out of Series 2 now that I say that, the Silver Grand Slam. So then I do it one series at a time. So I have all of Series 1 and all but one of Series 2 and about half of Series 3. And that'll fill up that top row there. Again, I like to use layering, stair step it, with 2x4s. You paint them black, nice green backdrop. I found some really cool images of the animated series online. Again, Google Images, color printer, and you got yourself nice backdrops. And again, this shelves are under construction, but they will be filled with G.I. Joe. That's such a great line. And again, I have on top of here my card backs. I haven't decided what to do with them yet, but the little file cards that are unique to G.I. Joe, I think it's great. Awesome stuff. So that will be filled up soon. So that will be the G.I. Joe Real American Hero once I get done with it. And then I'll scroll back here. You'll see this is also I'm very, very new at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Came out in 1988, and this line ran for a long time, all the way to 1997. Hugely popular. I have the first series and all but, actually I'm missing 2 out of the first series on her. I think Ace Duck and Break Fight and Ralph. So again, I'm just now starting on those turtles, and again, I go a series at a time. So once I do 1, I'll move into 2. I realize they're really, really hard to find one out of that line of Scratch, but man, I'm a completist, so I'm up for any kind of challenge, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will definitely be a challenge to complete because that is a massive, massive line. My checklist is like 15 pages long, but it'll be fun, and you can see I have additional shelf space to finish out the rest of the turtles once I get 2 of them and get them under construction. Next, you'll see that from my other videos, I've kind of pieced together this first collection room, how I have everything kind of lined out. It's maximizing space and then not giving up the display value, because that's the cool part, is how we display our action figures. It's an art form, and I love it. That's why I love getting ideas from some of you that I see how you display your stuff, and I love it. It's all about the display. We love our figures, and mostly we love to display them and show them off for everyone else that loves what we do. But here we go. On this next line is the Terminator figures that came out in 1992, right after the hugely popular T2 movie. And I just have a few of those. Again, that's maybe half the line, and I've got the other one to go. Each one of these figure lines that you see that I have from collection video 1 all the way down to this is number 4, I do have checklists for. So when I go to toy shows, like most often Toy Man Toy Show up in St. Louis, which is the one that I go to 4 or 5 times a year, I'm the guy that's carrying around a big white notebook, and I open it up. It's got all my figure lines in it, checklists, and I scratch off the ones that I need. That way I don't double up, and there's something about crossing off a figure off the list that you have. It's just a neat feeling, and you guys that collect know what I'm talking about. So that's the scoop on that. And again, that is the Terminator 2 line. More figures to come on that line, which is where that. And again, like all my others, I tell you, I love putting the card backs behind there. They just make great backdrops. Then as I scroll down, just below that, this is an awesome line. I loved this cartoon as a kid, Silverhawks. 1986 is when this series came out. They made a great line of figures that were a little bit underrated, because at that time you also had Thundercats, and Thundercats was the more popular line of the two, so that one got more attention. But I love Silverhawks. I only have 4 figures in the line. This is a really, really difficult line, especially the ultrasonic suit versions that came out. But again, I'm up for a challenge. I hope to complete that. Found this really cool Galaxy backdrop. It was a poster, and I thought, well, that would look really cool behind the Silverhawks figure, so that's what I used for it. It's out of if you'll notice, a National Geographic magazine. Look at that. You can find backdrops anywhere, and I thought that was a cool one, showing the Galaxy, so that will be where the rest of the Silverhawks will go once I get there. Drop down below, again, one of my newer ones is, like most 80s kids, wrestling was a huge part of our childhood, watching Hulk Hogan take on Andre the Giant, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Macho Man Randy Savage, all of that stuff, the Royal Rumbles, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, especially WrestleMania 3. So the Hasbro versions, I didn't do the LJNs because I like the Hasbro ones better. They had a wide variety of characters. I think they display well. And you'll see I just kind of started. I have the checklist put together. I just have a few figures from the line. Favorite ones, Andre the Giant. Love Andre the Giant. Love the Hulkster, IRS, the Bushwhackers. Underneath here, I got Akeem the African Dream, got the Big Boss Man, got IRS behind there, Macho Man, Rowdy Piper, Virgil, and again, more space because that's what it's all about, is filling up more shelf space. Those will be where the rest of the Hasbro wrestlers will go. And again, over here is the newest shelves that I just put in, and this is to house my G.I. Joe headquarters, which is right across from the G.I. Joes. I try to keep them all kind of together. They take up a lot of space. So underneath here will be saved for more G.I. Joe vehicles. I have some more that I'll be showing you in a minute. This is the Daily Bugle Skyscraper that came with the Spider-Man animated series figures. And again, it's right across the street here from my Spider-Man figures that were displayed in another video. And again, more room underneath because it's all about growth and space. Back behind here, you'll have some more G.I. Joe vehicles. The Sky Striker, you got the Hiss Tank, one of my favorites. You've got the Shark vehicle that came with Deep Six. Got the Water Moccasin there in the corner. Underneath there you got Slugger that came with Thunder. Up here you have the carrying case. Then you also have the Watchtower, and you got the Hal Cannon, the missile launchers, the Flak. And then over here, another really cool toy line. Came out in 1985 till 1987. Again, I'm big on my years. I used to teach history, so that's why. This was Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command. We all remember the commercial. We all remember the cartoon. We all remember the intro to the cartoon. It was one of the best intros, the little cool song that it went with. Very cool line of figures. Very difficult once you get past Series 1 and 2 and you get into the Racers series that came in 3, where it was like a street racer type of theme. It gets really, really hard to find those, but again, I've got most of Series 1. I am missing actually the Thunderhawk, which I keep finding them, but they're just not in good shape. The ones that I keep coming across, the doors are missing or they're flimsy, so I want to get one in really good condition. And I also want to have space there to the bottom for the Boulder Hill playset, which is a really, really cool playset, so I'm going to make room for that. I'll probably put it up there on that top shelf, and then I'll move Outlaw, Piranha, T-Bob and Scott, Condor, and the Bulldog. I'll move those from up there down to that bottom shelf next to Switchblade. That way I've got room for it. But here on this shelf, you got Buzzard, you've got Firefly, you've got a Raven, which is one of my favorites. You've got Hurricane, another one, Jackhammer. Really cool line. Yes, I remember all the names. Condor again. You've got Gator, Firecracker, Rhino, great looking truck, and Vampire. Cool line of figures. Again, I hope to get the rest of them. Moving over here, this great cartoon that's still in production today, the good old-fashioned Simpsons, came out in 1989, actually officially 87 when they were on the Tracy Ullman show, but got a series of their own in 1989, starting with the Christmas one version that came out, and it was only supposed to be a one-shot, but it was so popular that it became its own series, and lo and behold, here it is. All these decades later, still on the air. Simpsons still going strong. Longest running television show in the history of television, and you gotta love the figures because they look just like the cartoon, and that's what's appealing about them. It's called the World of Simpsons line, again from 2000 until about 2005, I think is the initial run. Again, I have the first 6 series, complete series, and that includes the actual play sets. Each series came with at least 2 play sets, and the play sets came with an additional figure. So I have the first 6 in a row, and I'm working on Series 7. I also have the town, which makes a great backdrop. You can see the Main Street playset. And then again, I layered it up. These are nice because the little play sets can actually stack on each other, so that gives you much more room because there are a lot of figures in this line. So I needed a really big shelf display. And you can see it goes all the way down there. I still have 3 additional shelves that I'll be able to fit figures, so I should be able to complete the whole line on this one shelving unit because I want to be able to do that, and that'll look really cool when I get them all. But it's so much fun. Really, really difficult to get some of the obscure pieces like the Toy Fair exclusives or the ones that were only exclusive to certain stores, things like that. But what a neat line. I love The Simpsons. Good stuff. So that is that room. And again, guys, I'll take a swing around the whole entire room. Again, parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. I hope you'll check them all out. And please click like and help get the word out to support us. Support people that collect action figures. It's such a fun and interesting hobby, and get the word out because I'll do the same for you guys. Whenever I see a video that I like, I click it, I subscribe to it, and I make sure that everyone else that's in this hobby sees it as well. So I hope you'll do the same. Again, ending here, I've got picked up this nice, the smaller version of the Lord of the Rings set because that's just a really, really cool line. So I put in additional shelving just here most recently for more figures for that particular line. And then last but not least, I forgot about this little corner here, Astro Snicks. And yes, we can all laugh about those, but we all remember how cool they were when they came out in the Happy Meals way back in the early 80s, I think around 1983 and 84. I'm only missing one, and he was a guy with a complete purple suit, and he had like goggles on, like horn rim looking goggles. He's the only one I'm missing. And then, of course, the obscure spaceship and UFO type space saucer. Those were really, really hard to find. I think they were mail-away exclusives, but I keep an eye out for them, and that'll complete that line. Followed by, I just have 3 from the Predator set that also came around in 1992. A good looking figure, so I picked those up. I like the explosion backdrop that I put behind there. That's actually a card back from a Thing and Spider-Man 2-pack that was exclusive to Kmart, and I love that backing so much that I used it for the Predator. It seemed to blend in right well. There's another Predator figure there, the Ambush Attack glow-in-the-dark one. And then we have 3 Robin Hood figures from the Robin Hood movie in 1991. That's an easy line. I think there's 4 other figures in the line, so I should be able to finish that one off pretty easy. And again, more shelves. So this was the last shelving that I put in. And again, this is not a terribly big room. So again, you guys don't need a lot of space, but you can maximize your space if you have a collection room, just in the way that you kind of design your shelves. Again, utilize space above. Like this was a closet. I took the doors out, so that housed the big stuff. Run shelves across the top. Again, I need to paint that shelf black so it blends right in. You can put big stuff there. Then I've got shelves along the walls here. Again, you guys saw this hopefully in my other videos. And then you cut the room in half with these larger shelves, and that fits kind of your larger stuff, your play sets, your vehicles, spaceships that take up kind of a lot of room. And then you make just a giant rectangle. So shelves over here for figures, kind of the bigger stuff here in the middle. Shelves lining all the way around, covering this wall, covering your front and back wall. Again, the walls go all the way around. And then your additional shelves here that kind of butt up against the other side. So you see that they make a butt up against each other, their backs touching. And again, it makes this place look gigantic when really it really isn't that big, but maximizing space. And again, even though I maximize my space, I still need an additional room, and that is going to be my next video. So please stay tuned for part 5, as that will be the rest of my collection room, which features my Masters of the Universe Classics, which is my most recent search and love those figures. And then also houses things like my comic books, which you'll get a glimpse at in this video, but then I really get into those more in detail in my comic book video that I'll also be doing. But guys, thank you so much. Again, get the word out. Please click like, and please send me links like to your rooms, because I love to see what you guys collect, even if you don't see it here. I love seeing what you guys do, and I love just talking figures. So drop me a line sometime and we can talk figures, and love to see where you guys are from and where you get your stuff, and I'll do the same. And again, my name is Doc Johnson. I thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you at the next toy hunt. Stay tuned for Collection Room Part 5.